Hey guys, Basement Breakdown here. We are back with more Championship 1 predictions. We have a doubleheader this Friday. We have Lumpinee 133, and then we have the Friday night fights 173. We will be joined by the Gambling Phenom again. He will be giving us the full predictions, breaking down both cards for us. We'll have some parlays for you guys. And we'll just throw up the usual stuff. So let's go. Let's continue the momentum. A little tired, but hopefully these picks will fire me up. Bruce, take us away.
To kick off our One Friday Fights 133 card, we have bout 1, which is a flyweight MMA bout between Viet and Do and Ryu Hirayama. Anyways, for this fight, my prediction is that we should skip this, or you should skip this. But if for any reason that you need to bet on this fight, stay here and listen to my reasons. I don't usually skip fights, but when I do, it's normally because the MMA fights, they can be extremely unpredictable in one FC. My risk level for this is, it's a risk for whoever wins this fight. Anyways, let's get into it. Viet Ando, he has a 3-1 pro record, but he should be 4-0. Also, he's 5-0 in his amateur career with a height of 5'4". Viet has fought a lot in Australia, where he had his last fight, which was without a doubt 100% a robbery against a kickboxer named Nikora Lee Kingi. Viet Ando himself did an interview after and said this robbery set him back a bit. He's going to be putting in overtime, but as you can see from the interview, he looked proper depressed, as any man would be after winning a fight and getting robbed of it. It was, after all, his first ever loss he had in his career. He never lost a fight before. Anyways, Viet was getting struck pretty decently by Nikora, but Nikora couldn't deal with the wrestling and takedown threat that Viet posed from. Viet is an okay wrestler, and he's never come up against the elite when it comes down to wrestling. He usually fights strikers like the Jap in this upcoming matchup, which so in this scenario it could actually end up favoring him, even though he's underdog. He has the ability to KO people, and I've seen improvements over time in his overall game. He went to his first ever decision against a man named Nav Hassan Sada, who actually kicked Viet to the side of his head. But Viet didn't fold. He firmed it and he shot a takedown instantly after. Viet does better when he has control of your back in the takedown, but he's not really a submission fighter. He chooses to ground and pound people over submitting people. And he can be reversed when he's on the floor, but he gets up pretty quickly if he does get reversed. His grappling control is good enough to win minutes, but it's not good enough, I'd say, to control an opponent on the floor for a whole fight. His striking will not be as sharp as Ryu Hirayama, but I've seen him be able to make I've seen him be able to make sure that his point lead doesn't disappear. He makes sure that he's above in the scoreline sometimes. I doubt he's gonna get a leg kick KO into a ground and pound win over this Jap, but he can end combinations. He can be the man that ends combinations. Like, he can get the last say in combinations. And he is used to annoying and getting inside of taller opponents' range, inside of a range of taller opponents. I expect the Jap to be taller despite his unregistered height. I would say against the lower level bracket opponents, his striking is okay, but it's not that great. His jab and straight right don't really exist, I'm not gonna lie. He throws leg kicks that accumulate over time. And he can throw a couple decent body kicks as well. He will try to wrestle in this matchup. If you see Ryu throw any kicks, Viet is pretty good at catching kicks and capitalizing on like when he catches the kick, he's pretty good at capitalizing on it to secure takedowns. He's also a fighter that will not give up when being outstruck. Jabs catch him often since he's smaller, but he's good at getting in range and throwing overhands. The jab will probably be able to see all of Viet's strikes, though, I'm not gonna lie. For this matchup, if you're betting on Viet, you're hoping that he goes the distance, and, well, you're hoping that his ability to control Ryu is there. I'm not sure if it will be there for most of the parts of the fight. It'll probably be there for some parts. Anyways, Ryu Hirayama. He's 4-0 in his pro career. He finished all his opponents by KO in round 1 or round 2, but finished all of them, not KO'd. He finished all of them in round 1 or round 2, half by sub, half by KO. Ryu is the better striker in this matchup and the more powerful striker, I would assume. His right hand seems to drop people very easily when lined up correctly. The only issue is for Rio, he's so fucking easy to take down. He's been taken down by Taiki Higuma, whose record is 4-5 as of now, with 2 losses extra in his amateur career. So let's call him 4-7. Anyways, he was controlled on the floor for 2 to 3 minutes after getting body locked and lifted and dumped to the floor by that man. He managed to reverse the position by getting onto his hands and knees under his opponent while locking in the headlock that rolled his opponent over. Ryu managed to gain control over Taiki's back and rear naked choke him from that position, and he could pull off a rear naked choke on Viet, but it's shit. It's not unlikely since I've never seen Viet get KO'd. The best way to beat a fighter that has a chin like him is to go for a submission. I do think that Viet has a chin, but is going to get tested in this fight. That right hand of Ryu is dangerous. If it connects to the jaw, that is. Anyways, Ryu also has one submission finish from bottom position where he pulled off a guillotine after being taken down. I can't trust this man I can't trust any man that's as easy to take down as Ryu, especially when he beat 4 cans in a row, and well, he has immeasurable self-belief that he's a great fighter because he beat those 4 cans. In the fights where he won by submission, he stated he wanted to try out his grappling in the interview after. I don't think he truthfully did. I think he got out-wrestled and pulled off the finishes because his opponents are weaker than him. If you check the career of the man he got the guillotine finish on, that man's career right now is 0-6. Yeah, 5 of those losses being by finish. There is a great chance that Rio is overrated as fuck, and if that's the case, then, well, good luck betting against the man who's gonna be here and put his all in for this win. But of course, I don't know. For people who need to bet, you can bet on Viet as an underdog, but it's not recommended. This is like a 50-50 fight. I put the scale on the image, for that reason, and well, in a 50-50 fight, I usually take the underdog. So in this scenario, I'm going with the dog. But I wouldn't recommend taking it. About to with a bantamweight MMA bout between Erdem Bayer and Matthew Greco. My prediction on this is that I would also recommend you guys to skip this, or in this scenario, I would take Erdem Bayer, who's the favorite. The risk here is that it's a major risk. Erdem Bayer Solman, let's get into it. He's 5'6" and has a professional record of 3-0. It should be 2-1. He won a robbery last fight where I predicted Katsuki Ariake, but I warned everybody not to bet on him due to the risk, so we didn't take him as an official prediction. This one here, I shouldn't even call it an official prediction, but I do, and it's a huge risk, so I'm warning everyone in advance. I just want to start betting on more people during the cards nowadays. I want to give everyone my opinion. But I don't trust this pick, and this is one of the people that I'm not really going to bet a lot of money on. Anyways, Erdem Bayer is not that technically good, but his conditioning and toughness led him to winning, even though he was outstruck and out-wrestled last fight. Erdem Bayer only looked half good in the last round against Katsuki Ariake. Round 1 and round 2 went to Ariake for sure, but they decided to use the bouts are not judged round by round, but as a whole fight, rule. They barely ever pulled this rule out, but they did. They did for this fight. It was clearly bullshit. Katsuki clearly won that fight, but the one judges are paid off retards at the end of the day, so there's nothing we can do about that. Solomon has great durability, I'll give him that, but in this matchup, he's not the smarter or more technical fighter. He is the more durable and stronger fighter, though, of the two men. His pace isn't the highest, and he caught Katsuki with a good right hand a couple times. That would have dropped the average human being, I would say. Sorry, where was I? But he also caught Ariake at the end of round 2 with a clinch knee to the head and a pretty okay boxing combination to follow it up. His output isn't the highest, but as the fight goes on between these two men, it should start to lean into his favor, I would assume. I'm not in agreement with his last win. It was a bad robbery, but he was outworked for 2 rounds, but had some moments in the fight. One of the reasons why I didn't bet on Ariake against Solomon, even though thought he was the better fighters, because Ariake fades as the fight enters round 2 and 3, depending on the pace he keeps, as he can choose to dump the tank when going for a finish. I like Ariake, aka Blast. He slipped a lot of Erdenbire strikes and landed more than Erdenbire for sure. If Ariake wasn't as durable of a beast as he is, he may have been dropped a couple times though. So yeah, there's that. Like, Ariake's a tough guy. He ate some pretty durable, like he ate some pretty big shots from Erdenbire, and yeah, if it's a regional person you put in against Erdenbire, I'm pretty sure Erdenbire is going to be able to drop that person. But you can't trust Erdenbire to actually try to turn up his output during a fight. He doesn't usually throw the highest output, but if he can catch you, he can harm you badly. Anyways, on to Matteo Greco. He's 5'11". He's 5'11". He has a 4-2 pro career. He lost his 2 first fights by KO in round 1, so I cannot trust his chin. He was also beaten by a man from South Africa who has a record of 1 win, 8 losses as of right now. And guess what? The 1 win was against who? Matteo. That means that the guy's only win was against Matteo. I'm not sure you can trust that. Anyways, he made some improvements in his career as his career went on, and to me, he looks to be the sharper fighter in this fight, with higher output. But as I have no footage on him making it to round 2 or 3, I will never know how good his cardio will look as the fight goes on. All I know is he's not UFC level, and ONE FC has very few fighters who can go the full 15 minutes in MMA without gassing themselves out in the process. So, yeah, there's that. You can win 2 rounds on a scorecard with high output and strike count, but if you can't make it 15 minutes in this MMA match, you will lose in round 2 or round 3 to a guy like Erdenbire, who takes his time as the fight goes on. A lot of people don't like Erdenbire because he should have lost the last fight, like I said. But that's going to prompt people to bet money on the sharper striker named Matteo. But I can't do that, as he only beat Cans, 2 of them who I think were a pair of Indonesian brothers, and yeah, they're horrible. Their records are horrible. Matteo will likely be in a scenario where he's winning the striking realm early and outstriking Erdenbire in round 1. But if he can't break Erdenbire, which I predict that he won't be able to, he'll probably not be conditioned enough to go 3 5-minute rounds at the pace that Erdenbire is gonna fight at, and at his own pace. Like, if he throws the same way he did against those 2 Indonesian brothers, he's gonna gas himself out and probably get broken down by leg kicks, along with Erdenbire's low output but powerful boxing. He may even have Erdenbire looking bad when he's backing up in round 1 and covering up from strikes, but I've seen him cover up from Ariake. If Matteo thinks that he can bomb away with his range like he usually does going for a round 1 kill, he's going to meet reality in the form of Erdenbire's overhand right. Matteo is the sharper boxer coming from France, but his durability I don't believe to be there. Maybe he had a bad early career after all the losses. They were 3 and 7 years ago, like his 2 losses in the beginning of his career. Maybe he didn't train the way he does now, or maybe he wasn't fully motivated. Maybe there was something going on in his life. Like, I don't know his full career, but right now it's possible that we're seeing a different version of Greco. But like I said, I can't trust a Frenchman who gets KO'd twice, then goes on to smash 4 guys in round 1 who have negative records from Indonesia and Pakistan. This is not trustworthy at all. I suggest you people do not bet here. It's an extremely dodgy fight with multiple unknown factors that could interfere here. Like I said, maybe Greco has improved his game and overall ability. Maybe he isn't a chinny young kid no more, and maybe he is this new improved version of himself. I just think, even though I can't trust Erdenbire, he's more durable and has shown me that he can go 15 minutes. But Ariake's footwork's not the same as Greco's. Greco's is better. Ariake's flat-footed, so it's possible for Erdenbire to get caught when he's covering up on the back foot. Erdenbire, I can only assume, is more durable, so if you do bet here, I advise you to bet on Erdenbire. Yeah, that's it. I've seen, also there was, I was going to give a warning, there's better fights to bet on. This fight will give you heart palpitations if you bet on Erdenbire, especially when you're watching the fight early. But I've seen how bad Greco is. Greco, whenever he gets a backpack on someone, it's so easy to pull him off. But people like I said, the cans that he fights, that they don't really know how to get him off their back. Yeah, it's easy. It's easy. It's really easy to get to get Greco off your back. Bout through, we have an atomweight kickboxing bout between Kiro Chizik and Toma Kuroda. My prediction here is Toma Kuroda will win. My risk level for this fight is that he is a risk. Without further ado, let's get into it. Kiro Chizik, he's a teammate, he's a two fighter with an unknown record, but let's say in his last 6 fights, he is 4-2. He stands at 5'6" and is a fighter who lost his last fight as a favorite against Sandro Bozzi, who was Kiro was my first prediction, but on the day of the weigh-ins, I changed my prediction to Sandro due to the immense size difference and the fact that I don't trust Kiro's chin. Sandro proceeded to win as a 2.5 underdog, whose line quickly moved to 1.9 after a huge size difference was seen in the weigh-ins. He has decent Russian boxing, and at 21 years of age, he is quite sharp. He makes too many mistakes for my liking. There are too many moments where Toma can capitalize the feed of him. Toma is a great technician. He's one of the best there is, but there's no doubt he has taken damage throughout his career. His face has an insane amount of scarring and missing teeth at a young age of only 24. He's a fighter that learns how to adapt to his opponent's style as the fight goes on, and I think Toma will be able to have his moments where he catches Kiro with his speed and technical ability. I just don't know what the judges will do if the fight is, if it goes to a close decision. Anyways, Toma Kuroda, he's 5'4". He has 14 wins, 4 losses. He vacated his K1 bantamweight title and left K1 to join the one promotion for one to rob him in this fight against Adam Sordechapan. Wait, I apologize. I think I'm wrong. I think he has 24 losses, not 14 losses. Sorry about that. Anyways, he got robbed against Adam Sordechapan, little brother of Alef Sordechapan. And yeah, being a little brother of that Taiwan star saved his career and gave him a win. It was a really bad robbery loss for Toma, and I don't trust ONE FC to not try to rob him again. This fight is going to be a close point war, possibly a close one. I'm not sure if it will be close. And I don't trust ONE not to rob him, like I said. Even more so because he was booked to have a fight inside of K1 after terminating his K1 contract in May. He was going to compete in K1, but the bout cancelled so he can fight in this bout in ONE. I do not know if they will rob him or not, as well, if it's close as hell, they may even gift him in this win. They may even gift him here. I don't know. Well, yeah, because they might gift him because Kiro's not even like a very well-known Russian kickboxer. Anyways, Toma is extremely sharp and has great kickboxing knowledge and skills, but he is a point fighter, not a fight finisher, which is one thing that Chatri Sidiatong does not like. He doesn't like point fighters either way. Fuck him. He beat Ramadan Ondash outside of ONE FC because Ramadan could not find him for the most part of the fight. He avoided all of Ramadan's major damage and outstruck him. I was really angry at Kuroda's robbery about a month or two ago, as it really was a disgusting robbery. Adam should not have won that fight. Usually Kuroda can see the strikes coming at him, but against Adam for the first round, he had to adapt to the jab due to the range and height Adam possesses. In this matchup with Kirill, the height is the same as the fight with Adam. But the boxing of Kirill is good, maybe even better than Adam's. So, yeah, but the thing is, Kirill doesn't have a chin. But in kickboxing gloves against Kuroda, he may not need one. Toma Kuroda doesn't really punch hard, and he's not really in it to get KO finishes over people. His strikes aren't the type that have power in them, but they're the type that he can hit you and you might not see the punch coming, and that might knock you down. He's very good at distance management too, and baiting opponents into attacking so he can slip and counter. I like Kuroda here, but to win, I think all around he's the sharper fighter and he's the more skilled fighter, but the size goes to Kirill. That's the only thing that really goes to Kirill, the size. I think Toma is much sharper. I think he's much smarter. I think that he's going to be able to out-technical his way to a decision win. Bout 4, we have a flyweight Muay Thai bout between Walid Sakraji and Anwar Cisneros. My prediction here is Waleed Sakraji to win, and my risk level for this fight is I have it capped as medium. Anyways, Waleed Sakraji, he's 9-2, standing at 5'9", fighting out of a team Medizatu, a dangerous Moroccan fighter who was taking the fight from Kumponoi in his one debut in round 1, but Kumponoi overcame the adversity and landed many knees and kicks to the body and the arms of Waleed, slowing down his output, his speed and his forward momentum. Waleed was constantly walking down Komponoi, but couldn't find him as clean in round 2 and 3 due to his speed having decreased due to body, knees, and kicks to the arms. Before then, though, in round 1, he was landing many jabs, left and right hooks, sniping with a cross, and he even landed a couple good uppercuts that caught well. He was the better boxer and he threw his best shots, but he couldn't break down Komponoi was the issue. Or due to Komponoi's insane tire durability, Waleed should be able to deal with Anwar here, as he doesn't utilize kicks to the arms and body constantly. I think Waleed will snipe and crumble Cisneros, but I've seen Cisneros get dropped bad and go to the distance. I am going to assume this fight goes to the distance, but I think Waleed can 100% KO Cisneros in this fight. It could end up being a close fight between the two rangy fighters trying to be ahead of each other on the scorecard. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think Waleed, if he knows he's ahead, may even try to go scorched earth and try to lay away Cisneros. Anyways, let's get into it with Anwar. Anwar Cisneros. He has an unknown record for me. I can't find it, sorry. He's a fighter from Mexico who has a tall, lean frame that he uses to evade and kick from far. He also has long arms which are good for landing elbows, but the level of competition he's fought as a champion of some Mexican Muay Thai promotion are much lower than like the level of the fighters I want to see. Anwar Cisneros is a fighter who I've seen commit many fouls and clinch, namely back of the head strikes and spike elbows. On his feet, he has a long cross that can connect well to the body. He utilizes spear elbows on entrance and good counters, or okay counters. They're not very clean. If you constantly walk into his range and expect to eat an elbow, I've seen Cisneros in bad positions before, though, where he's been outboxed and pushed into a corner. He has a flying knee that I've seen him throw, but I've never seen him KO anyone with it. It's a bit slow, and against Waleed, he won't be able to connect it to the chin, I don't think. I think against Waleed, he's going to get pushed back against the ropes, and especially in a small occasion he's used to, it's going to be much harder for him to evade in the little room that he has. I've also seen him get dropped against a man named Alvaro Torres by a clean left hook to his face after he was bloodied up in the second round. I don't think Cisneros has the conditioning or output to beat a man like Waleed, especially in small gloves. I think he's going to get rocked badly and he might even get KO'd. For him to win, he's going to need to abuse the clinch and land distance points while maintaining distance. But I don't think his footwork going backwards is good. I think it's bad. I think he's too circular, or I should say wide when he's exiting the range and stepping back into another angle in the ring. Like, he circles for a long time, and it's very easy to find angles of attack while he's circling, especially if you're a pressure forward fighter like Waleed is. Waleed's not going to give him time to evaluate a path of attack. He's just going to pressure him and put him in the corner and hurt him. But on to the next one. I think Waleed wins. Bout 5, we have a featherweight Muay Thai fight between Pet Cow Cardone versus Ayub El Khadraoui. My prediction here is Ayub El Khadraoui to win. My risk level for this fight is mid/safe. That's what I predict it to be. But anyways, let's get into it. Pet Cow Cardone. His record is 50-20 at the young age of 20 years old. He stands at apparently 6'2" and is a predominantly clinching fighter who uses knees and elbows decently well, but his long frame helps him control the fights that he wins. He uses his long frame. Sorry about that. He uses his long frame to close the distance with his arms posted to grab knee and elbow his opponents. His striking is not elite, but the fact that he's so long means that if he steps in and throws, it can catch anybody off guard. He even caught Alaverdi Ramazanov last fight during some moments, but as the fight went on, Alaverdi found a clean shot that made Pet Calcradon crumble, and he almost curled up at the referee's foot at the end of it. At the end of the round, I didn't think he could have got. I don't think. Sorry, I think that he could have got up, but I think that he didn't want to, knowing he probably already lost the fight and wasn't going to regain any control time over the match. I am a bit wary betting against this man just because during the first round he did good against Alaverdi, but Alaverdi found him and finished him. I think the Moroccan also will do this, but this Thai watches tape and opponent footage, so I would be careful. He's going to have a game plan that may work against Ayub. But anyways, let's get on to Ayub. Ayub El Khadraoui, he's 5'10". His record stands at 10-1. He just turned 22 years old. He's a savage Moroccan fighter with a great skill set, utilizing a forward aggressive style while at the same time creating openings, bouncing in and out of distance and faking entries to land his uppercuts and hooks. He has very fast kicks and he uses both legs to kick, transitioning from limb to limb with his attacks. From one kick to another kick into a punch, etc. He's got long limbs which will help him in this fight, but he needs to avoid the clinch work or the tie if he's going to win, and he needs to use his distance management well. He can't get caught by a stray shot and fall. If he does get caught by a stray shot and fall, I don't know if he will be able to get a finished comeback, but it is possible. The only thing is this Thai will clinch for a decision if that does happen. Like if he gets knocked down, then the Thai is just gonna hold on to him and try to abuse the time, abuse the clock. The Thai he is fighting isn't weak and abuses clinch, but he's not nowhere near as sharp as Ayub. Ayub is better. He's the better boxer. He's the better fighter overall. And if for some reason he can't find his range, I expect him to throw leg kicks to slow the movement of the Thai down and start up his rhythm to his own striking. He is very good at slipping after throwing. It's built into his system to reposition after releasing a combination. There is a chance for an upset here. He could be doing all the work and he could fall one time, just like Kasan Salamov did a few weeks ago for us. And he could just get robbed like that. He will be the higher pace fighter. But if the Thai lands a knockdown and he does not brace, if the Thai does land a knockdown, then brace yourself because we're getting robbed. Yeah, it's a sticky situation, but I believe that Ayub will overcome the odds here, and I believe that he's going to win. This should not even be a close fight, really. Like it should be a clear and cut victory. And at 1.45/1.5, it's worth it. Bout 6, we have a strawweight Muay Thai bout between Charpayak and Samander Kasanov. My prediction here is Charpayak will win. My risk level for this is mid/safe, but I'm going to change it to mid now just because, keep it mid-safe, fuck it. Anyways, Charpayak, he's 27 years old. He has a record of 68 wins, 15 losses, and a 7-1 inside of the one promotion. He lost to Ramadan Ondash last fight where he was steamrolled and KO'd, but he had a great knockdown himself in that fight. He is very good at landing KO wins over opponents and has incredible wins over Kongchai and Kompet. Kompet just fought against big brother Abdallah Ondash, big brother Ramadan Ondash, Abdallah Ondash, and he was finished in round 3 after arguably taking round 1 and 2. Charpayak even rematched Kompet and KO'd him, finishing him in round 2 with his fearless style, throwing hooks that clipped the chin of Kompet. Charpayak, I believe, to be the more durable man in this fight, but I will warn you people that he just got KO'd last fight. We don't always know how people's chins will be, or how the loss affected him as an individual. I do think Charpayak is the more durable man in this matchup, and I think he should win here. But the Uzbekistani fighter is a decent fighter, not the highest level I've witnessed, but the Uzbekistani will have the disadvantage in the Muay Thai gloves. Anyways, on to Samander Kasanov. Sorry, the Uzbekistani will have the disadvantage in the Muay Thai gloves. He's used to bigger gloves. Anyways, Samander Kasanov. He has an unknown record, but I've watched him fight in 2 different RWS matches. He tends to try and bounce in and out with attacks, stepping in with a few hooks and then out, circling, then throwing a teep or a couple leg kicks and body kicks. I'm not impressed with his conditioning or his pace. When he gets hit, he tends to be off balance quite easily. I would call this man a point fighter over a KO fighter from what I've seen, but he could fake a teep kick by raising his leg and throwing a left hook when he's inside the range. Maybe in the smaller gloves he could drop Charpayak, but honestly I think Charpayak is too durable and will probably end up breaking down Samanda. Samanda has not fought the same level Charpayak has, but we must acknowledge the fact that Charpayak was just KO'd. Like I said, we have to be careful with him. I think Samanda will throw a kick or two. The kicks will get caught by Charpayak, and Charpayak will rip him with a body shot or a body hook that catches him, and what's it called? He might even catch him with a couple hooks to the chin. I've seen Samanda dropped him round three times against Rona Chai, so Samanda has a bad tendency when he's getting unloaded on to cover up and give his back, which ends up with him actually getting hit in the back of the head by legal strikes. You can't turn your head in the middle of a danger zone. Like, that's not allowed, mate. Like, you do that, that's your fault. You got hit in the back of the head. Another fighter I'll mention later who has a bad habit of doing this is Dennis Purish. Anyways, I like Charpayak to win here, and I think he can get the KO. This Uzbekistani's already lost to worse people than Charpayak. I think Charpayak gets this done. This should be pretty clear. 7, we have an atomweight Muay Thai bout between Payak and Dead. My prediction here is Dead, and my risk level is that this is a risk. I am warning all of you that this is a young fighter and this is going to be a scrap between two young fighters, and a scrap between two young fighters often ends up being pretty fucking hectic. It's like all the rules go out the window, kind of, and you're just two men scrapping. It's like the skills aren't fully developed. You're more aggressive. Anyways, but I'm taking Dead here because, well, truthfully, I don't have footage on Payak. I have footage on Dead, but I've been correct when I bet on Dead before in this last fight. Me and my mates actually gave me the prediction for this fight, and I took it, and I was correct, and they're giving me the prediction as Dead to win again, which is why I'm taking this. But I am very cautious. I am very wary. I don't have footage myself on Payak, so I apologize for this. But you don't have to bet on this, obviously. I'm warning you in advance for this exact fucking reason. And I think if you don't want to bet, I'd understand. And there's better fights to bet on anyways. So better than two young up-and-comers that are going to end up in a bloodbath. Out 8, we have a flyweight Muay Thai bout between Sirichok and Klarob. My prediction here is Sirichok, and the risk level I have for this capped as a medium. Anyways, onto this fight. Sirichok he's 22 years old. His height is 5'6". He's 82-16 as far as his record stands. He is a fighter who uses good knees, heavy kicks, good elbows, and overall throws power in each and every move. Usually as a fight lengthens on, if his opponents are not conditioned for 3 rounds, or if they're not able to actively move around him, Sirichok usually breaks them down by breaks down his opponents by being a more conditioned and stable fighter as the fight goes on. This is a fight between two Thais, so I count on this conditioning a lot. And conditioning and endurance, when it comes down to two Thais fighting, seems to matter a lot more than when it comes down to a Thai versus a foreigner. His most recent loss comes by the way of decision against Pampadesh, but Pampadesh is 56-5. We had Pampadesh as an underdog recently to beat Peshpupa and to beat Sirichok. He beat the durable Peshpupa by KO, but beat Sirichok by decision, so you can see where I'm going with this. He is durable and good at catching kicks and countering. He's also good at knowing when he can break a fighter down and when to play technical. He even put a welt on Pampadesh's head pretty good in round 1 early. He is a savage fighter, but you couldn't catch Pampadesh for the most of the fight when he fought him. When he fights a man who's not so much of a technician, though, like his upcoming opponent, that will fight toe-to-toe, he ends up being a reliable fighter, as it's hard to break him down. And I think this is a great spot for Sirichok as an underdog. Sirichok won his last fight outside of one, and before his loss to Pampadesh, he was on a 5-fight winning streak. Right before that 5-fight winning streak, a man he lost to named Song Fan Kong. He lost to a man named Song Fan Kong who KO'd Kumponoi in 1 but couldn't KO Sirichok outside of 1. So that also speaks to his durability. Like, Kumponoi is a tough fucking bastard, and Sirichok didn't get KO'd by the guy that KO'd Kumponoi. Anyways, as the fight goes on, I expect Sirichok to win. I expect him to catch his right hand, dropping the upcoming opponent Klarob. On to Klarob. He has 81 wins, 55 losses. You hear that? 81 wins, 55 losses. He just beat Muhammad Ali in round 1 by KO. Even though he beat Ali, Ali was tagging and out striking him, but he got clipped by a big overhand shot to the back of his head when Muhammad threw a left hook that led to him. He got at the same time he got hit in the back of the head by a right overhook, and that led to him getting hit by a combination after he got wobbled and being dropped for the second time in the fight. After the second knockdown, the fight was cold. Klarov is on a 4-fight win streak right now, but before that, he was on a 7-fight loss streak. Yeah. Anyways, I don't consider him to be a good fighter or the tougher fighter in this matchup. I think Sirichok as an underdog has great value on him. And in this battle, I think Sirichok may come across some adversity, but will be durable enough and powerful enough to withstand Klarov. Sirichok should be able to at least get Sirichok should be able to at the very least drop Klarov is what I meant to say. Sorry. But yeah, anyways, I got Sirichok to win. Bout 9, we have a flyweight Muay Thai bout between Sanpet and Pep Mwang 3. My prediction here is Sanpet will win. My risk level for this is that it is a risk and a high chance of an upset here. Sanpet is, onto Sanpet. He's 5'8". He's 25 years old with a record of 89 wins, 32 losses. I think Sanpet is an all-round technically sound fighter with decent kicks, good knees, and when he boxes, he prefers to stay pretty compact up in the line of fire against opponents not backing up. But this has caused him to eat an elbow clean through his guard from Denkarin Cry in round 1 that finished him. Denkarin Cry is a dangerous Thai fighter though. Anyways, he also lost to Satang Tong inside of 1, but that's not a bad loss either. He lost by decision to Satang Tong, who has a great resume with wins outside of 1 against men like Sam Chai and Kun Tuek Noi. Kun Tuek Noi has 100 wins and 15 losses, by the way. Anyways, I'll give it to Sanpet. He held his own against Satang Tong and landed a couple vicious technical counters, but playing the point game led to his loss as Satang Tong, he was just a better and stronger technician in the fight, in that matchup. Sanpet engaged in clinch and targeted the body, and he landed a couple trips a couple times too, but overall he was just outworked. He showcased that he has a very good chin when he ate a couple clean hooks, and mainly the right hand, and he ate a nasty uppercut without falling. He even ditched his technical game plan at some moments and was walking forward, throwing heat, but would get evaded. Sanpet sets up his strikes better than his upcoming opponent, Pep Mwang 3, in my opinion. I think Sanpet wins. And yeah, anyways, on to Pep Mwang 3. He's 5'8", a Muay Thai fighter who is right-handed. At first, his work rate is slow, but as the fight goes on, it turns up. Like as the fight lengthens, his work rate starts to heighten. Sanpet needs to be careful in this matchup as he can't lose focus and can't waste his stamina. Pep Mwang 3 is a fighter who uses his conditioning and time to his advantage to break opponents down. He throws a lot of kicks that land to the body, and if you don't figure out a way to punish him when he kicks, then he will continue to add more power to each kick that he lands. He uses kicks at first to find his range and test his opponent's reactions. The kicks will add up over time, they'll add up a lot over time, and they'll give him a lot of points. The more he knows he can land a kick, the more power he puts into each kick. But I think Sanpet won't let him get comfortable enough to keep smashing away with kicks. I expect Sanpet to have a game plan, and I watch Sanpet. He's very good at catching kicks and countering with a right hand, whether he targets a hook to the body or to the face. He likes to get the last word in when he after some kicks, so it just looks good. And he has a chance to score a knockdown off those punches. If he catches the kick, he can also trip Pep Mwang 3 to the floor. Sanpet should be the fighter with a better footwork, so I would expect Sanpet to enter with his jab right hook, then exit out of the pocket pretty swiftly without getting caught by a right hand or kick. Sanpet just seems pretty aware of overhands. He's had to worry about he just has to worry about the heavy kicking style of Pep Mwang 3 breaking him down over time, which is where the footwork and better boxing comes in. After Pep Mwang 3's last loss in 1, which came by devastating KO from Azadullah Iman Ghazaliev, he went on to lose, then win a fight before outside of 1 before being called up again by 1 for this fight. To be fair, I'll give him a bit of credit. He beat Yod Pupa twice. The first fight being a bit controversial 8 years ago. But yeah, I think that Sandpet is gonna have to. I think Sandpet's gonna have to make him pay for every single kick that he eats. He can't just let him get away with kicks. If he makes him pay for each kick, yeah, then it lengthens the time in between each attack that Sampet's what's this guy's name again? Pet Mong 3 is gonna throw. It it will delay the time because Pet Mong 3 has to think and rethink about, oh, can I throw the kick? I'm gonna get countered. Bout 10, we have a strawweight Muay Thai bout between Rittidet and Mashid Karimi. My prediction here is Rittidet. My risk level for this is that it is a risk. I have Rittidet here. There is another fighter they have labeled against him, which is on Tapology and some other apps, which is why I wanted to wait till the face-offs to confirm and find out who it is fully. But anyways, if it is the other Rittidet, I think Rittidet will beat Mashid anyways. But anyways, let's get on to it. I believe the Rittidet that is fighting is Rittidet Kiat Songrit. He is 5'5" and a previous Raja Damnan champion, and a sharp, calculated boxer with high output and dangerous forward pressure. He was KO'd by Alif Sword Dechapan via spinning elbow in round 2. But before that, he was piecing up Alif, and I mean piecing him up. There's also an argument that he was robbed against Rit Naka, as they both found a round each going into the third, which ended very closely. Rittidet expected that he would win that fight, but he didn't. The judges saw differently. He has beaten good opponents, and he has fought better competition than Majid Karimi for sure. I like him to beat Majid Karimi, but it could be a very close fight. I'll explain why when we get to Majid. I think that we'll see a new version of Rittidet. He is young after all. Only 21 years old, but now he's on a 5-fight win streak and is dangerous. Plus, I expect him to be more durable than Majid. He has an array of weapons that can drop Majid, such as step-in elbows, hook combinations, push kicks, and body kicks, but I'd focus on his boxing and elbows for this fight. One elbow will drop Majid, and he's very easy to hurt, in my opinion. Anyways, Majid Karimi, he's 9-4 right now. He is a dangerous fighter coming from Team Medistitute with an unknown record, but he has boxing fights in Thailand that are alongside his Muay Thai and kickboxing fights. He 100% has the skills to win, but I don't know about his durability. He seems to get dropped very easily in these 4-ounce gloves. What I like about him is his technical style, that he keeps his opponents guessing. He was an underdog last fight for me and won against Kayan Pitak Nong Bang Sai, where he was dropped and had a comeback KO victory over his weaker opponent, targeting the body with vicious hooks, like I knew he would, since Nong Bang Sai has a weak core. He went on to lose outside of one against Diesel Lek, who overall outperformed against Majid. I think that Rittidet will outperform against Majid too. Only I think Rittidet will finish Karimi possibly. If not, at the very least, I think that he's going to drop Majid Karimi. But Majid Karimi has a very technical point style that could actually be winning this fight early on, until he gets knocked down, or he could even find his own knockdown. You know what I mean? That Majid can be dangerous. Like his technical style is a bit overlooked. He's actually quite fucking sharp. It's just that he has no chin and no core strength. But and for those two reasons, I'm gonna take Rittidet to finish Karimi. Bout 11, we have a flyweight Muay Thai bout between Sanit and Valeri Strungari. My prediction here is Sanit will win. My risk level assessment for this is that it is a medium. And there is a risk of an upset on this fight. Anyways, Sanit, he is 5'7", 30 years old. He has 89 wins in Muay Thai and 31 losses. He is tough as nails, and he is a Muay Thai fighter who predominantly throws kicks that shut down enemy engagements and weaken them over time. It is not particularly rare for me to talk about men who mainly use kicks like Suor Black or Ferrari, or like the opponent of the guy that we just talked about 2 fights ago. Anyways, what was I saying? But Sanit is one of these guys that throws a lot of kicks. I myself am not fully sold on Sanet. His last performance was a bit of a low volume performance, but I believe that's because both men in that matchup respected each other's weapons too much. Sanet relies on men attempting to push into his range. When they do, he launches kicks that break down people's arms and bodies. Sorry, people's arms and their body and their legs. And I've seen him clip multiple men with head kicks now in one, so it's not out of this realm that he lands another head kick KO. His limbs are very, very long. His elbows can also cut through Valeri if Valeri dips his head in while striking, which he does quite often. Valeri is talented, but often throws too much too early and loses composure, breaking down as the fight goes on. And I wouldn't call him durable at all. I think Sanet will break him down with kicks. Plus, he is told he can avoid a lot of strikes. Like, he can just lean back out of the way. Boom, Valeri's just missed 2 or 3 punch combinations. Anyways, Valeri Strungari, for me, he has an unknown record. I can't find him. I apologize for this too. I've seen him fight where he often outstrikes his opponents early but loses composure too quick, often getting badly hurt by a few well-timed strikes. He shows damage and redness very quickly too, so if the kicks from Sanet are up, they will redden Valeri very quickly. Valeri's only way to win is to close the gap between them, which he can do. He has the better footwork and the better boxing than Sanet, in my opinion, but his striking isn't that powerful. He is more of an accumulative striker. I think the kicks Sanet throws will be enough to secure a victory, but this is a fight that could go wrong, just so you guys all know, like, be warned. I do think that Sanet has the more powerful hands as well. Like, not he definitely doesn't have the better technique or the better boxing combinations, but he has more power in that right hand of his. He has the elbow that he can smash through with, and overall his kicks, yeah, when Valeri tries to enter, when Valeri gets kicked by a couple kicks, it's gonna stop Valeri's whole combination. Like, Valeri won't even be able to open up with a combination because he's gonna have to defend against that kick, and then Sanet can throw a kick and then throw a right hand right after. Like, yeah, there's a lot that Sanet can do in this fight to win. Sanet should just be more durable and should just easily win this fight. For bout 12, we have a flyweight Muay Thai bout between Pompet and Gregor Tom. My prediction here is Pompet will win. My risk level for this is that it is medium on the scale, and written down risk of an upset too. Pompet, he has 108 wins, 47 losses, standing at 5'6". He is a 27-year-old who I know has a heart. Like, this guy has serious heart in his fights, and he has serious resilience. I've seen him overcome adversity many times, and he's only gotten better with age, starting to enter his prime. They recently rolled him against Yodlepet the Destroyer, but they rematched Yodlepet and Pompet, and Pompet actually did less damage and less work in the rematch, but he won that fight. But he won the rematch. That's how you know that one is the one promotion is just rigged, and Pompet should have won both of those fights. He is durable and tough, and he has worked well on getting his strike count up. He should be the stronger and higher output fighter in this fight, possibly faster too, but a good elbow could catch him. We've spoken about him before here on the channel too. He's a good fighter, and I've trusted him with my money at the right times before. He wasn't KO'd by Aslam John, so I doubt Gregor Tom can KO him unless he lands his tomahawk elbows. Anyways, Gregor Tom's record is 13-2, but I've seen another fight where he was 20. I've seen his record inside of another fight where he is stated he was 24-5 at the time, so I don't trust the one statistics. Gregor has a good left hook that catches the liver and won a fight for him against a Thai who was beating him until Gregor found him. Gregor has nasty tomahawk elbows he uses to dismantle opponents in clinch, but his kicking game isn't especially good, especially his kicking game isn't particularly good, especially his jumping scissor kick. It's not the best. I'll give him credit, his leg kicks and body kicks are not bad. It's just that one jumping kick he does is absolutely atrocious. Anyways, his boxing can KO people, but I don't know if it will be good enough to KO Pompet. I struggle to predict what level of skill Gregor is on at the moment, but I don't think he's on the level of Pompet, especially not experience-wise. Pompech has gone against killers more often than not, while Gregor has been grinding his career of lower regional level opponents. I've got Pompech here, but I am scared for him. Gregor could catch him here with a clinch elbow maybe, or he could catch him in one like clean hook or some shit like that. I'm not too sure about if one care about Pompech because they robbed him before, but he has become quite a bit of a fan favorite recently, and his odds are 1.4 as of right now. The odds are a little bit dodgy. I thought they might have been closer. Gregor Tom has a little bit of a fan base, but that's it. Yeah. Anyways, we'll get on to the next card. I'll release that to you guys soon. Start off our 173 fight night card. We have a We have a bantamweight kickboxing bout between Wei Rui and Hiroki Akimoto. My prediction here is that Wei Rui will win, and my risk level that I have for this is capped off as I have it written down as a robbery risk, because this is a rematch. I warn you all, and I have it written as a rematch alert as well. Yeah, just because this is a fight between a Chinese man and a Japanese man, and it is taking place in Japan, of course. And well, we know how bias goes per country, so let's get into it. Anyways, Wei Rui. He's 34 years old. He has 73 wins and 4 losses, standing at a height of 5'8". His nickname is Demon Blade. He has been a champion inside of K1 and is regarded as the best kickboxer in China, having very few losses, one of them being to Jonathan Haggerty, and the other to a Thai legend named Lerdzilla. He's one of the best to ever do it in Muay Thai, like ever. A man who went over 100 fights undefeated. Anyways, Wei Rui is good everywhere and is very good at winning rounds, but in a Japanese stadium with a Japanese crowd against him, and Japanese judges, he could lose via robbery, like I said earlier, especially when the first fight turned out pretty close in round 1. A lot of people actually found the fight controversial. I thought, no, it wasn't controversial at all. Wei Rui clearly was up the first 2 rounds. And coasted coasted his way to a decision in the 3rd round. He coasted his way to a decision win. But the commentator during that fight was a biased piece of shit because Hiroki is his friend, and since Hiroki has fought Wei Rui before, there is a chance that he can make this fight a closer contested fight in his home crowd. And there is a chance that he can actually do more in the scorecards as well. After all, Wei Rui is 34 years old. His output won't be getting any better, I don't assume, but his sharpness is still there. And Hiroki is only 2 years younger at the end of the day. He's 32 years old, so he's not going to get any better either. He's coming to the end of his career. Well, not the end of his career, he's coming to the end of his prime, You won't see Hiroki getting any better, like I said, and you won't see him getting any better than his split decision win over John Lineker. And John Lineker is nowhere near the level of Wei Rui. Anyways, Hiroki Akimoto, he's 32 years old. His record is 28 wins, 4 losses, standing at 5'6". His 4 losses are to Joseph Lasiri, which is a previous champion, a solid fighter. Petch Fergus, which is a legendary fighter. We're going to mention him a little bit more later. Wei Rui, which is the man we just named, Demon Blade, and also a legendary fighter. And he lost to Elias Enahachi too, which is also another legendary fighter, where he was clipped and dropped badly to his temple by a left hook, I believe. But he didn't get knocked out. All his losses are to legends or previous champions, so I have to give him credit. This is a battle between 2 former champions. I think Wei Rui will win if the judges and his age don't fuck him over. But the age is the scariest part of it because it affects the judging too. If he's even breathing heavy or like at all kind of harsh, yeah, they'll look at it negatively. If he breaks a sweat, they'll look at it negatively. He needs to rely on perfect timing to win this fight. He needs to rely on his experience to win this fight. He needs to make Hiroki look like an amateur to win. I'd say he's the better technician than Hiroki also. So all he has to do really is to adapt from the last fight that he had with him and look for moments where he can clip him. I mean, shit, the last fight was only a year ago, I think. So Wei Rui's actually pretty fucking he's 34, but he's very fucking sharp, man. He's one of the sharpest Chinese fighters I've ever seen in my life. Probably the sharpest Chinese fighter I've ever seen. Round 2, we have an atomweight MMA women's fight between Chihiro Sawada and Itsuki Hirata. My prediction here is that this fight is a 50-50, and of course, the risk level is insane, and of course, a risk. I'm not even going to get into this fight too much. In this scenario, I'm only going to give you one piece of advice. In this fight, you should only bet the dog or skip. Like, there's no other outcome really. It's either bet the underdog or skip this scenario. Don't do anything else. Don't bet Chihiro if you want to bet. Even though she has a great chance of winning this fight too. I'm not gonna even get into this one too much. Chihiro Sawada is the smaller girl. She's late notice, and but she is the better fighter on the ground. She lost to Meng Bo, who was a 3 times underdog for some stupid reason in her last fight. I don't know. In the fight before her last fight. I'm not sure if you're familiar who Meng Bo is, and if anyone isn't, she was the first ever fight and lost on Zhang Weili's record. She beat Zhang Weili, and in Meng Bo's last fight inside of the one promotion, Meng Bo actually got robbed very badly, and I would like to shame the one promotion for this. I will always keep track of the robberies that I see, and this was one of the worst robberies I've ever seen throughout combat sports history. Meng Bo was clearly robbed. Anyways, Chihiro only has 1 loss to Meng Bo. She's not a good striker, nor is Itsuki Hirata, but Chihiro is better when she gets the fight to the floor. But she's not even good at doing that, really. She's not good at getting takedowns. She's not good at getting the fight to the floor. Matter of fact, she gets taken down by girls worse than herself quite often and gets submissions from under her opponents, like in her last fight against, I forgot her name. I've got it written down later somewhere. Macarena Aragon, that's it. Anyways, honestly, she's shit. And so is Itsuki. Itsuki barely scraped a win in her last fight, and I mean barely. She lost the stand-up game like Chihiro did too. The thing is that the only reason I'm saying she has a big chance to win this fight as an underdog is because this fight is a battle of shit versus shit. They're both shit. They're both dog shit girls. You're going to see when you watch them fight, they're both dog shit girls. And this is a battle of shit versus shit. And at the end of the day, Chihiro is the smaller girl. Hirata could just lay on top of her. That's her style at the end of the day also. So it's all about who gets to the floor first. And if Hirata ends up on top, she might be able to survive a submission attempt or 2 or not. I don't know. Anyway, she survived against Ayaka Miura, who I consider to be better than Chihiro. Matter of fact, I am going to bet on Hirata myself, only because I remember Macarena Aragon took down Chihiro. But at the end of the day, Macarena always puts herself into a submission like an idiot. And Macarena Aragon's actually a girl that I've relied on before to get takedowns, but I never rely on her not to get submitted on the floor. If Hirata gets a takedown, I think she will control the play, as she is the bigger girl, and Chihiro's takedowns at the end of the day suck. But if Chihiro gets a takedown, I mean, Hirata's one of them girls that it's so hard for her to get back to her feet when she gets taken down. Like, I just don't trust her. She's quite shit. They both suck. And well, if you're willing to put your money here on this spot, then place it on the underdog. And if you're not willing to put your money on this, you made the right call. Skip this fight. Just play smart. Just put your money somewhere else. Anyways, so this is not an official prediction for this one. I am going to officially say that fight 2 is an underdog or skip. This is not an official prediction. This is just a little fun betting moment, if you would. Bout 3, we have a lightweight MMA bout between Shinya Aoki and Hiroyuki Tetsuya. My prediction here is 50-50, leaning Shinya. And my risk level for this fight is that it is a major risk. I know I have a lot of 50-50 fights in the beginning, but this is only for now. And I will get into more predictions later in this card. We have 17 fights for this second card. So just bear with me and listen, because not every spot needs to be betted on. But anyways, my original pick, was Hiroyuki Tetsuya. But I started to lean towards Shinya Aoki, only for a few reasons. I'll get into them now. Okay, Shinya Aoki. He is 42 years old, so that's a major red flag. Be very fucking careful. He has 49 wins, 11 losses. He has 32 wins by way of submission. He has 4 by KO, and 9 out of his 11 losses have been by KO. Keep that in mind too, because he's fighting against a fighter now who's known for when he gets finishes, he gets KO finishes usually. He is on a 2-fight win streak as of his MMA career. He has an extensive wrestling career too, and is the creator of a wrestling move, a ankle lock actually, named the Aoki lock. His own name is Aoki after all. which is a footlock that twists and damages the ligaments and tendons. Yeah, it's a unique footlock. He is very, very good at finding submissions on people, especially if he can grab onto them. He has great flying submission locks, aka leaping onto you and locking up arm bars, triangle chokes, etc. Those type of locks. He is nicknamed the Grandmaster of Flying Submissions. He will always pose a threat, but he is 42 years old. If he can't grab onto Hiroyuki, it's over. He will get KO'd. Thing is, he submitted John Lineker and is actually moving down to lightweight for this bout from welterweight. Standing at 5'10", he will be the bigger person come the day of the fight and may easily just get a hold of Hiroyuki since this is a grudge matchup. He wants to submit Hiroyuki and he wants to insult him basically, and make his 50th career win. Like he wants to get his 50th career win before he ends his career practically. And he's very determined for a 42-year-old man. We may see him shine one more time in this matchup, which would be very nice. I would like to see this man get his 50th win. In his submission grappling matches, he's grappled against mostly the elite in the world. Cade Ruotolo, Mikey Mushemi, etc. Gary Tonin as well. In his MMA bouts, he gets the round one submission way too often for an old man, I think, in my opinion. Like, this is insane how often he gets the round one submission. Even John Lineker, he got the fucking round one submission off him. I think he might just have one more fight in him. But if I were you, I would skip. Me, I'm gonna bet on this because I want to see Aoki win his 50th match. But if I were all of you, I don't know if I'd recommend it. This is a fight that I would recommend skipping to. But my pick is Aoki in this fight. Hiroyuki Tetsuya onto him. He's 5'6", 35 years old, so he's an old dog too. He's not like his best years are by him as well, and he never really had that best of years. Anyways, he tried with Chael Sonnen before, but his record stands at 14-6. He's a fighter with powerful hands, and he can land a KO here at any moment. But I've seen he's pretty mid at striking. It's his power in his wrestling that helps him win against bums. But against Aoki, his wrestling won't help him. I don't believe, at least. It's his striking game that he needs to win. Yeah, he's gonna need to land a KO punch on Aoki. Aoki is always dangerous and will be a threat to every limb of Hiroyuki. If Hiroyuki drops Aoki and tries to get on top of him, like if he drops him with a punch and tries to jump on top of him to finish him with ground and pound, he will get submitted very, very, very fucking quickly if Aoki is still conscious when getting knocked down. Aoki can very easily submit Hiroyuki, especially since he's going to be 4 inches taller than Hiroyuki. The longer limbs will allow for him to control and get the backpack very easily. It is so damn risky. Like, who the fuck even bets on a 42-year-old man? I wouldn't bet here if I were you, but I am a degenerate human being, and I am going to bet myself. There is a great possibility that this is a storyline moment, yeah, and Aoki will... I mean, shit, Aoki does deserve his 50th win. It will be a great send-off for a great legend like himself. And yeah, I believe that he's going to get that win. Part 4, we have a battle of heavyweight MMA, which is against Ryugo Takeuchi versus Shamil Erdogan. My prediction here is Shamil Erdogan. My risk level for this is mid/safe. I'm not going to explain this one too long at all. This is going to be less than a minute. Shamil is better everywhere. The only risk that he has to lose this fight is a DQ loss, like if he fucking hits him in the back of the head 10 times or some shit like that when he's ground and pounding him. Or random heavyweight KO power. Like, that's what could catch him on the chin and drop him. Anyways, next, let's get on to the next one. Shamil Erdogan is gonna win probably. The odds are fucking, like, they're a bit fucking, no, they're way too fucking low, yeah, but he's gonna win probably at the end of the day. And, yeah, next. For bout 5, we have a bantamweight Muay Thai bout between Jake Peacock and Sua Kim. My prediction here is Sua Kim. My risk level here is that this fight is a safe fight. I am going to keep this one short too. It is a complete fucking joke that Sua Kim is even fighting against Jake Peacock. If Jake wins, then the FBI needs to investigate ONE FC because it is impossible for Jake to win. Jake is a one-arm fighter and literally, like I said, only has one arm. This is the biggest disadvantage in Muay Thai ever, and I bet on him to win last fight. I bet on Jake Peacock to win last fight, because he was a 1-2-5 favorite, and I knew he would win because the opponent that ONE FC fed him, and like they have always done throughout his one career, they fed him bums. They have fed him absolute fucking tin cans. Like, the men they fed him have milk bellies and gas out after round one. Like, in round one, sorry, not after round one, in round one. Shit, they called the last fight that Jake Peacock had a KO, a KO win, but he didn't even look like he got like the KO. He barely dropped his opponent. His opponent, I mean, it wasn't even like it was knockdowns. It was more or less his opponent just kept falling over and Jake ended up winning. Like, the fourth knockdown in that fight was not even a fucking knockdown. Don't get it wrong, Jake is talented for a man with his disability. I'm not going to sugarcoat it though. The man has one fucking arm against a man who just beat Otis Waghorn. He beat Panrit and Komor. Like, what the fuck I'm meant to say here? When he went to, like, Sorkin went to a decision with Rodtang. Come on now. He just won a war last fight as well. This should be the easiest 1.45 ever for any fighter I've ever seen. If Sorkin loses, ONE is the most rigged corporation in the world, and the FBI needs to do something out because it will be a disgrace. If Sorkin loses, it will be an absolute fucking disgrace, and he will have been paid off. Like, they will probably, like, during the fight, because the odds are stupidly ridiculous, like 1.45, they might even call a no contest during this fight just to find a way to save the bookies from losing money. Like, if they can't find a way to get Sorkin to lose, like, then they're gonna probably call a no contest somewhere in this fight if an eye poke happens or some shit like that. Because at the end of the day, who in their right fucking mind is gonna bet on Jake Peacock? I mean, if you do, you're stupid. And if he does somehow win, it's rigged, straight up. Like, there ain't no other outcome here. If Jake Peacock wins this fight, ONE FC is rigged and they paid Sorkin, or it's just, at the end of the day, it's just rigged in general. Jake Peacock should not win. Sorkin's going to win this one all day. If he loses, I hope Chatri's mother and daughter burn in fucking hell. At the end of the day, yeah, fuck them. It's on to bout 6. We have a middleweight grappling bout between Giancarlo Bodoni and Rafael Lovato. My prediction here is Giancarlo. I'm not really much of a submission guy. I do watch submission grappling matches here and there. I don't really like to, but I do it for the research for everyone and for myself, obviously. Look, straight up for Giancarlo Bodoni to win. He needs to not accept bottom position for too long, or at least not accept it for over 5 minutes of this 10-minute submission grappling match. During his time in this match, he needs to look for a sub constantly. He is the younger, better, faster fighter. Submission grappler. Giancarlo is a 2-time ADCC world champion. He is younger and stronger. Like I said, he can probably change position to top control. If he can't find a submission from half guard or bottom position, like I said, there's fighters out there in ONE FC. Yeah, if you're trying to submit someone from a bottom position, yeah, if you can't find a submission, it's always better to just get top control and play the rest of the fight from top control, because you already have the submission attempts for the first 5 minutes, but you don't have top control and you don't want to get robbed due to that. But submission attempts mean more than top control. So if I had you in a knee bar and you were on top of me, but while still in the knee bar, I would be controlling the position technically. Anyways, this is a butt scooting war between Rafael Lovato Jr. and Giancarlo, but Rafael Lovato Jr. is a veteran in this game of butt scooting. Anyways, he is also an MMA fighter as well, and I believe fought in Bellator once. But anyways, let's get into it. MMA is a young man's game. Submission grappling isn't. So an old dog can still have a couple good tricks up his sleeve, but this should be a clear and cut victory for Giancarlo. I watched submission grappling for a little bit of research here and there. I hate it, like I said. But Giancarlo should get I don't know about submission, but if he can't, I don't know about submission, but he's going to be the one getting more submission attempts in this fight. He's going to be the one getting more control and more controlled attempts. So I think that Giancarlo will win. I don't know if it's going to be a submission or if it's going to be the full 10 minutes, because Rafael Lovato was actually pretty fucking good for an old man. Old dog. But yeah, I don't fully know too well. I don't want to give you my most confidence on this, but I think Giancarlo should win. I'm going to call it mid, maybe mid safe, depends. But yeah, Anyways, Giancarlo should win. On to the next. 7, we have a lightweight MMA bout between Shozo Isojima and Tai Ruotolo. My prediction here is Tai Ruotolo will win. My risk level for this fight is that I have this fight as safe. I guess I was right about Tai last time when I said that we may never see him at these odds again when he was a 1.45 favorite. Now he's a 1.06 or some shit like that. But he is safe and he will win. He's the little brother of Cade Ruotolo. Tai just beat a savage last fight for his MMA debut into one, who is actually probably better than Shozo in my opinion. So he will probably submit Shozo in this fight, but he can easily KO Shozo if he wants to, truthfully. Anyways, next fight. Bout 8. Oh, sorry. Bout 8, we have an atomweight kickboxing fight between two women, Stamp Fairtex and Kana Morimoto. My prediction here is that this fight is a 50-50 fight. So again, another 50-50 fight. I'm going to take the underdog. And the risk level for this fight is insane. I would say skip this fight, but I'm going with the underdog personally. This is the second time I've seen her fighting in Japan in front of her home crowd. I believe Stamp is overrated and has been fed a lot of wins over the course of her career. She has beat some good people like Anna Jarunsak, aka Supergirl, which is a good win, but it was in kickboxing. And it was a split decision in kickboxing against a fellow Thai girl in kickboxing. Japan is practically the birthplace of kickboxing, and Kana is a very good fighter that is very hard to drop and very, very, very technical in kickboxing gloves. Kana lost a 5-round championship fight last time in Japan to Petjija Luk Jao Porong Tom, who is the best female fighter I've ever seen so far in ONE FC, and I might even, no, not UFC, but in ONE FC. That girl that I just mentioned, yeah, by the time she was 10 years old, she already had more than 100 fights, and 70 of them were against boys, and she beat a lot of them. So she earned the nickname the girl that can beat boys. Anyways, Kana took round 1 and arguably round 3 from Petjija, but it wasn't enough. The fact that she could have taken round 1 and round 3, though, the fact that she could have taken those 2 rounds, if it was a 3-round fight like it is against Stamp, who knows how it's going to end. Maybe she would take 2 rounds out of 3 on her home turf and win. I believe she has the higher output over Stamp, and Stamp seems to have been fed a whole career in MMA. And, she has an MMA career, kickboxing career, and Muay Thai career, just so you all know. She's got 65 wins, 17 losses. Kana actually has a better ratio career-wise than Stamp does. And when it comes down to it, Stamp beat a woman in Muay Thai, old champion in Muay Thai, but she fought her again in a rematch in kickboxing and lost that fight. Her skill set weakens when she crosses over to the kickboxing realm or any other rule sets. I think that Kana can win here. I really do think she has the ability to win here. I think she has a great shot at in this fight. I would advise skipping this spot. I keep saying that. There's a lot of fights that I would advise skipping, but Kana is very worth betting on in this spot as she has the higher output. It's a 3-round fight with a higher output on her side, and the fact is it's very hard to knock down Kana. She has the output on her side. She doesn't have the durability, but she has the output. She doesn't really show much damage when she gets hit, and it's a 3-round fight. So in a 3-round fight, when she has the output on her side, and the fact that it's in her home crowd, and kickboxing is her sport, not Stamp sport. I think that Kana should win here. She lost as a heavy underdog last time in Japan. Now they're making her a heavy underdog again in Japan. Yeah, I don't know if she's gonna lose again in Japan this time. She fought a legend, a Thai legend who beat opponents who are better than Stamp, and she fought a Thai opponent last fight, like the girl I mentioned, the girl who beats boys. She fought her, and that girl actually beat a girl who beat Stamp. So I think that maybe, this fight is almost 50-50. I don't know why the odds are like this. Reality is, I'm going to go with Kana in this scenario. I've seen many scenarios like this before where, I should have taken that girl. She was an underdog, yeah, and I did take the girl. She was an underdog, and she fucking won. I've been so successful with girl underdogs in ONE FC. it's quite insane. But this one is one that I'm not confident on at all. It just the only reason I'm not confident in this one is because Stamp is a fan fucking favorite. If it wasn't for that, I would say Kana all day. Part 9, we have a featherweight kickboxing match between Nabil Anan and Hiromi Wajima. My prediction here is Nabil Anan. My risk assessment is that this is safe. Nabil was meant to fight Jonathan Haggerty, but Jonathan Haggerty got injured, so now we have him against some former K1 champion. Hiromi is 22. He has 22 wins, 6 losses, with 18 wins by KO. It's still not good enough. Nabil is going to introduce this man to God. Yeah, Nabil is going to win. Nabil's beaten people that are not 1,000 times better, but way, way fucking better than Hiromi Wajima. And Nabil, like I said, is going to introduce Hiromi Wajima to God. Yeah. Anyways, next fight. Then we have a bout between Superlek and Yuki Yosa. I am going to break this one down thoroughly. Anyways, it's a bout of bantamweight kickboxing. This favors Yuki over Superlek. My prediction here is that Superlek will win. My risk level is that this fight is a risk. And without further ado, let's get into it. Superlek has 139 wins, 30 losses. He is a beast at Muay Thai. He is a strong warrior who doesn't give in and break. He doesn't break at all. He has never been KO'd clean, but he has Dr. Stoppage KO losses, outside of 1FC. He beat Rodtang a while ago for me and my group, and it broke my heart betting on Nabil as an underdog against Superlek. But we did, and we made money at 2.2 times. Superlek is a kicking machine and a very technical striker, but in kickboxing rules, he will not be allowed to elbow Yuki Yosa, which puts him at a massive disadvantage if Yuki gets in close. One of Superlek's main moves are his elbows. Anyways, Yuki is nicknamed the Japanese Mike Tyson. It's not really a fitting nickname because he's not as aggressive as Mike, but it's because he walks people down and he breaks them. He doesn't throw big combinations like Mike Tyson does. His output isn't that high. His defense and forward pressure is immaculate, however. His knowledge and patience lead him to winning many fights and led to him winning for me against Pech Fergus and Elbrus Osmanov, who I've always found to be a bit of an overrated team. Maybe he's a two fighter. Anyways, Yuki, as of right now, looks like he's a world beater and a destroyer, and a world destroyer entering one and making a huge statement against two of those feared fighters that I just named, knocking down Pech Fergus brutally in his second fight in one. For Superlek to win, he will need to use his limited moveset wisely, and I mean, he will need to throw kicks constantly. He will need to kick the insanely conditioned Yuki in a point war over 9 minutes. I think he can do it, but I'm quite scared. He has been training for a very long time after his last loss to Nabil. There's even footage of him circulating training his jaw the old school way with a bucket of paint and a cloth, to chew on around the handle. He's training his conditioning for a war because it failed him against Nabil, where he fell to a head kick. Anyway, Superlek is such a sharp fighter. It would be a shame to see him get outpointed here. Superlek can slow down Yuki's forward aggression if he throws kicks to the body and to his arms, but Yuki has really conditioned legs, and he even outstruck Pech Fergus at the end of the day with leg kicks, and that was in round 1 as well, by the way. He wasn't trolling Pech Fergus, but he was kind of toying with him. He knew that he would beat him and break him down, so he was kind of just baiting him with leg kicks the whole time. Yeah, just sharp leg kicks hurting Pech Fergus. Anyways, I don't like this matchup. I am very scared, and a lot of people are telling me to take Yuki Yosa in Japan, and it makes fucking sense. I can understand why they would. So I would be careful betting here against Superlek. Betting here on Superlek on multiple bets, but Superlek is dangerous. He is a Thai legend who I've watched for many years. He can find a way to win. I just don't know how. I just don't like how Takeru hurt his body in their fight a long time ago. But in a 3-round fight, I think the output of Superlek can gain him the win over Yuki. Yuki is a composed fighter, but when he's against boxers, he usually wins. You get me? But Superlek won't attempt to box with him. He's gonna kick and kick and kick and throw a punch here and there just to keep Yuki guessing. But for the most part, he's going to kick at Yuki and score a lot of points for the kicks. If Superlek can keep Yuki at the end of his kicks for long enough, he will win. That's my opinion. Like, I think that Superlet's gonna attempt to outpoint his way to a victory. I don't think that he's gonna KO Yuki, especially without his elbows. But yeah, Yuki's a tough fucking bastard. The kicking game may not work. The kicking game literally, because Yuki's so tough, it might not even slow him down at all. I'm relying on Superlet to have the higher output in this fight and to win a decision. I am not relying on him to win a KO. I'm relying on Superlet to win a decision, and that is by just, literally outpointing him, throwing more output, more kicks. But the boxing of Yuki is what he needs to be careful of. He needs to circle Yuki well. He can't get walked down by Yuki. If he gets walked down by Yuki Yoza, he's going to be in trouble. 11, we have a featherweight kickboxing match between Marat Grigorian and Rukia Anpo. My prediction here is Marat Grigorian will win. My risk level for this is that it is mid. Anyways, let's get into it. Marat Grigorian is an Armenian kickboxing previous world champion with 68 wins and 14 losses. He has fought the best of the best in the world, including a fight against Chingiz Alozov, who many consider to be the best in the world. He lost that fight in a great war. He KO'd Sitichai in round 3 also. He KO'd Superbon clean once as well, which is a good feat. And he KO'd Abdulali Zahidi in his most recent win a year ago in December. He is now, however, 34 years old, and with every day that passes in an old dog, you can start to trust him less and less. Which is why I'm very cautious here. I know Prime Marat would kill Rukia Anpo easily, like all fucking day. Marat 1 year ago, the Marat that we saw 1 year ago would kill Kaito Ono, and guess Kaito Ono and Marat had a cancelled fight, and guess who Kaito Ono KO'd and who Noiri also KO'd? They both KO'd Rukia Anpo. Rukia Anpo is he is a cocky Japanese fighter. Jesus Christ. He is a cocky Japanese fighter who pulled up on Noiri in a hallway and started speaking like he's an anime main character. He was having some weird aura farming moment. It was the funniest shit. It was two Japanese guys just standing there talking about how one's going to redeem himself and avenge his own loss. Yeah, like he's some fucking like he's some main character. And then you have Noiri who's telling Anpo to get past Grigorian first and that he has a tough test ahead of him. Anyways, I think if the version of Grigorian we see turn up is the same one from last year, December, I think that Anpo is cooked. I think Marat would have beaten Kaito Ono if they had fought. I think Kaito Ono KO'd Rukia. Kaito Ono KO'd Rukia. And this is, practically this is my kickboxing mass. I'm going to go along with my kickboxing mass at the end of the day. I think Marat would have beat Kaito. I think Marat would beat, I'm not sure about Noiri, but he would beat Kaito for sure. And the fact that he would beat Kaito means that I am going to take him to beat the guy that Kaito beat. So I don't know how Marat's going to perform in this fight, especially with the crowd cheering for Rukia. But Marat should be able to break him down over the course of 3 rounds, 3-minute rounds. And yeah, I think Marat, yeah, he might even get outstruck a little bit at first, but his like cleanness and power in each bang, yeah, is so devastating that I think that Anpo is gonna get KO'd. I think that Marat is gonna KO Anpo. That is my prediction, my official prediction. 12, we have a flyweight kickboxing match between Takeru and Denis Purish. My prediction here is Takeru. My risk level for this is mid/safe. As long as Takeru does not fall, he will win. Denis Purish is degrading and at the tail end of his career, he has his last fight, he lost to Zhao Xiyai where he did okay in round 1 actually, but as usual, he steamed out after round 1 and lost. Takeru is a great technical kickboxer, but has not the best, like he doesn't have the greatest chin at all. So I warn anyone who bets here that this could be very upset. He could be a very upsetting matchup. If Takeru falls early, he will probably be able to secure a knockdown in return as the fight still has time. As the fight goes on in the fight, there will still be time. But if it's late, like if he gets knocked down in round 2 or round 3, it's not going to be good. Takeru's probably going to lose. Takeru can get dropped by anyone. I mean anyone. But is a very well-known Jap who fought the likes of Superlek to a 5-round decision. And he also fought Rodtang but got KO'd in round 1. And he also secured a comeback victory over Tan Zin for me, which was very nice. Anyways, Takeru is all around the sharper fighter. He's better everywhere apart from the power department. Dennis Purich is a dirty fighter and a fighter who got in a fight. He got a fight that he lost, changed to a no contest because he kept turning himself around to avoid getting hurt against Elias Mahmoudi, yeah? And like I said, I said I wasn't mentioning him earlier in the other breakdown video. I said that if you turn your head if you turn your back to your opponent while they're throwing a combination at you, you deserve to get struck in the back of the head. It's not illegal if you fucking turn your head into your opponent's fucking punch. You don't get the call and no contest for that. And what was his name? Mahmoudi won the fight, but they later, after like a month or two, they changed the fight to a no contest. The one promotion changed it to a no contest, which is absolutely stupid and bollocks. But anyways, Takeru should win. I wouldn't bet the house on it as the odds suck ass. Maybe check the KO odds. Maybe they're gonna be worth it. I don't know. Three knockdown rule might come into play. Maybe 4 knockdown rule. Like Takeru can definitely knock down Dennis Purich. I've always thought Dennis Purich is an overrated piece of fucking dog shit foul fighter. And although he acts humble, he's a foul fighter. You don't get to act humble and be a fighter that commits fouls. So yeah, I got Takeru to win. 13, we have a lightweight MMA bout, yeah, for a title actually, yeah, between Christian Lee and Alibek Rasulov. My prediction here is the underdog in Christian Lee. He is right now at odds of 2.25, and my risk level for him is that I'm having him as mid. This is a rematch. The first fight got called off due to an eye poke, so they no contested it. But let me tell you right now, yeah, I had Christian Lee as a 3.5 fucking underdog in that fight, and Christian Lee was 3 rounds up as a 3.5 underdog against Alibek Rasulov before they fucking no contested it. So many people had money on Christian Lee. Like I checked the topology and everything, yeah, that the bookies had to pull the fight after the smallest, shittest eye poke. Alibek pulled out of the fight after losing all 3 rounds. Alibek is a Turkish wrestler who has proven to be very overrated. He's not able to secure takedowns very well, or even at all sometimes. He is more of a clinch fighter that holds on to people for 15 minutes rather than being an actual fighter who knows how to throw solid combinations like Christian Lee. Alibek is one of the most overrated fighters I've ever seen in my life. Christian Lee already showed that he's better everywhere. In the first fight that was no contested against Alibek, he was beating Alibek in every department. The wrestling, the fucking striking, everything, yeah? He didn't take down Alibek, I don't believe, yeah? But Alibek could not clinch control Christian Lee. Christian Lee, every time he would try, Christian Lee would separate from him, yeah? Find this room and then outstrike him completely. Anyways, his odds the first fight were 3.5, now he's 2.25. That goes to show that the bookies can't go and take back the fact that they had Christian Lee as an underdog, but they know they're probably going to lose this fight, so they lowered the value a fuck ton. And yeah, I like Christian Lee to win this fight. I think that he's a really hard worker with a record of 17-4, and he is, well, right now he is the current champion. Alibek is 14-0, but if that last fight with Christian Lee went on and they didn't call it a no contest, he would have been 14-1. And the fight before Christian Lee that he had against some Korean or Japanese guy, yeah, he looked fucking god tier shit. Like, he looked fucking shit. Yeah, I got Christian Lee all fucking day. And, well, he should have won the first fight, truthfully. Pisses me off 3.5 times money, but I'm going to trust him to win this second fight for me. And I believe that Alibek is an overrated piece of dog shit. 14, we have a flyweight Muay Thai battle for a for a belt as well between Rodtang and Nong-O Hama. My prediction here is Rodtang will win. My risk level for this is that it is mid. Well, everyone knows the name Rodtang and they all know the face of the legend. He has 285 wins, 43 losses. I like Rodtang to win here, but against the very durable and tough Nong-O, who's much bigger than Rodtang, it could be a little bit of a risk. Nong-O should not be this weight, truthfully, but nevertheless, he is. And the weight cut can't be good for him. But I don't expect Rodtang to land a I don't expect Rodtang to land a KO shot on Nong-O. But I expect him to outstrike Nong-O. Nong-O has a dangerous kicking game to the legs and to the body, but his boxing is not as good as Rodtang's nor is his chin. Nong-O may be bigger, but his chin has been cracked multiple times in his career, unlike Rodtang's. Rodtang to win is my prediction, but like I said, it may be closer than people expect it to be. Nong-O is, after all, a legend, and he himself has 267 wins, 58 losses. So I'd say these odds are quite disrespectful. Nong-O is just 1 inch taller in this matchup, but yeah, he really could hurt Rodtang. He really could outpoint Rodtang, possibly. And as of recent, I heard that Chatri Sidyatong and Rodtang may have had a little bit of a falling out. If that is the case, that they did have a little bit of a falling out, then it is possible, like I said, that for Rodtang to actually lose this fight. Yeah. But anyways, I like Rodtang to win. 15, we have an atomweight Muay Thai fight for a belt as well between Nadaka and Numsurin. My prediction here is Nadaka. My risk level for this is mid/safe. I should change it to mid just because Numsurin is dangerous, but I'm going to keep it as mid/safe. Anyways, let's get into it. Nadaka has 64 wins, 6 losses, riding a 39 fight winning streak. He's the next generation of talent in Muay Thai. He is elite and sharp as a blade. He sees everything coming at him and he moves out the way effortlessly of incoming strikes. He rarely gets caught by a good punch. His skill is almost incomparable to anyone in the world. But every second watching him is like watching a game of chess where he's Magnus Carlsen. He slips punches with shoulder rolls, kicks well, and he breaks people down over time with perfect timing and speed. We've spoken about him before on this channel and won with him via KO last fight at good odds on the KO. I think it was like 2 point something. Anyways, Numsurin. He has 105 wins, 19 losses. He just recently beat Songchai Noi, where I originally had Songchai Noi as a safe bet, but I changed my mind for that fight to the day before the fight started, stating that Numsurin will probably get outstruck by Songchai Noi at first, but has a great chance to find a knockdown shot, and he did find a knockdown shot. So I called it a 50-50 fight before the day of the fight, actually, and then that's exactly what ended up happening. Numsurin dropped Songchai Noi, which turned the tides in their fight. He's very reliant on finding the knockdown shot. Nadaka is an animal though, and if you are going to get outstruck, if you are going to get outstruck by Songchai Noi, there is a good chance that Nadaka is going to pick you apart too. Like Nadaka's better at outstriking people than Songchai Noi is, way better. Anyways, Nadaka doesn't KO even if Nadaka doesn't KO Numsurin, as long as Nadaka doesn't fall, like as long as he doesn't get dropped one time, he will 100% win the fight because he will be outstriking Numsurin. So as long as Nadaka doesn't get clipped and as long as he doesn't fall, he's got this fight in the bag. I don't know if he's going to KO Numsurin because Numsurin is a fucking tough bastard and Nadaka's not really like the guy that KOs people. But with 5 rounds, Nadaka could KO him over time because Nadaka does actually break people down over time rather than break them down with singular shots. But yeah, I like Nadaka to win. He's 1.45 or 1.5 right now. He's great. He has great value in him. And yeah, I think he's overall sharper, better, smarter, and being a he has three championship titles outside of one in Rajan Danan and Lumpinee. So at the end of the day, yeah, he is one of the world's elite. He is young, and yeah, I think he's gonna fucking win. About 16, we have a flyweight MMA title fight between Yuya Wakamatsu and Joshua Pacquiao. My prediction here is Yuya Wakamatsu will win. My risk level for this fight is that it is mid-safe. Yuya Wakamatsu, aka Little Piranha, has a record of 19 wins and 6 losses. He is a bigger fighter, standing at 5'6". He is stronger. He weighs more, and he's beaten the better people out of the 2 fighters, namely men like Adriano Moraes. If you don't know who Adriano Moraes is, that's the man that he kneed Demetrius Johnson in the face and knocked out DJ. Yuya smashed Adriano Moraes last fight, and he pulled off an upset in their rematch. He is like that was a rematch. He lost the first time against Adriano, then he won the second. He is now the champion because of it, and now Joshua is going up. Well, now Joshua Pasio, he's going up in weight to challenge Yuya, so he can become a 2-weight division champion if he wins. He can wrestle using his size advantage here. Yuya can wrestle using his size advantage here, but I would assume that this fight stays on the feet and both men go to war with their hands. Yuya has immensely upgraded throughout his career, and I expect to see him pull off this win. I will be rooting for Yuya. I bet on Yuya a lot of times, and I like Yuya a lot as a fighter. I think Yuya could even submit him, funny enough, and if he wants to. I think Yuya could submit him if he wants to, and I think that most likely he's going to box his way to victory, though. Anyways, on to Joshua Pacquiao. Or Pacquiao. I think it's Pacquiao. The nickname The Passion. He has a record of 24-4. He stands at 5'4". He has not fought the better competition, like I said, as Yuya fought men like DJ, Adriano, and Danny Kingad. Joshua does have a chance to win here though against Yuya, but I don't see it. There's the chance to KO Yuya, but it's unlikely. I don't see him out wrestling Yuya either. It's probably unlikely too. This is a big risk for Joshua. He won for me last fight as a 7 times underdog against Jared Brooks, yeah? But Jared isn't good. The days that he was good, like the days that he used to fight Diaz and Figueiredo in UFC and shit, yeah? Those days are long fucking gone. I don't see a way Joshua wins this fight. I've bet on Joshua before as a dog, so I can say I know him. And yeah, last fight he was a 7 times underdog. What do you want me to say? I don't think he's gonna win as an underdog again. He won last fight, yeah, because it was against Jared Brooks, and Jared Brooks fucking sucks. And I said that so many times, yeah, and it was it was beautiful. But anyways, next fight. 17, we have the main event, featherweight kickboxing title unification between Superbon and Noiri. My prediction here is the underdog in Noiri. My risk level for this is mid/risk. I'm gonna get into it now. Superbon is a Thai legend who beat Marat Grigorian twice. One of them was a bit controversial. He also lost to Marat Grigorian once, and Marat Grigorian's a legend. Superbon just recently lost to Taiwan Chai. By the way, I'm doing all of this off the top of my head. I don't have this written down. This is the only one that I didn't actually write down the information for. I don't even remember their records. But anyway, Superbon is a Thai legend. He was a previous kickboxing and Muay Thai world champion in 1OC. He recently lost to Taiwan Chai, that was his most recent loss to Taiwan Chai, where he got KO'd and starched pretty badly. Age is starting to be the downfall of Superbon. He's starting to get old. The young up-and-comers are starting to beat him. And he was just beaten by, like I said, Taiwan Chai. And guess who just fucking KO'd Taiwan Chai in round 3, I believe? Noiri. Or it was round 2 or round 3. Anyways, Noiri just knocked out Taiwan Chai in round 2 or round 3. I've forgotten, yeah? Where he stayed composed and used his sharp boxing and his defensive style. Now listen to this. Superbon isn't the best puncher in the world, but his kicking is what wins him fights. He off-balances people so easily with his kicks. But against Noiri, I don't think he's going to be able to do that. I think Noiri has great fucking... he has a great guard. And he has a great style that gets in your face. Noiri's not stupid as well. He literally said that he knows what Superbon's going to do. He knows Superbon's going to throw bare kicks at him. He knows Superbon's going to try to outpoint him with kicks and keep him at bay and try to hurt him with kicks and weaken his guard and weaken his body and his frame. And the high kick could actually catch Noiri on the face. But Noiri is not going to let that shit happen. Noiri's going to close the gap between them almost instantly. He's not going to play the range-finding game with Superbon. He's going to get up close. He's going to keep his full guard up, like the guard that he always does. He has his very unique guard. He holds his guard up very close and just leans forward into his opponents. Yeah, throwing hooks and combinations and body hooks. Yeah, he's very sharp, very fucking sharp. He has a good uppercut too. But Superbon's, there are counters to Noiri's game. One big counter to Noiri's fighting style is the uppercut. The uppercut cuts through his guard very fucking easily. And if Superbon can perfect his uppercut for this fight, he has a great fighting chance to win. But Superbon's kicking style, if that's his like if that's the way he thinks he's gonna win, I think that he's gonna lose. I think that he's gonna get KO'd by Noiri, who's gonna stay composed, defend the kicks, get in close so he can't throw the kicks the distance, so the kicks will not be able to be managed well by Superbon if Noiri gets up close. Like you can't throw a kick when someone's in your face. You know what I mean? And anyways, Noiri's probably gonna break him down with some liver shots, some hooks. And Superbon's chin is starting to deteriorate. I would say, like the loss to Tawan Chai was a bit damn fucking flash. I think Noiri is gonna be the prediction here for this fight. I like Noiri, and even though he either lost to what the fuck was that guy's name again? Fuck, I forgot. Liu Manyang. Even though he lost to Liu Manyang is not that fucking good. Like, Liu Manyang is a composed fighter, and he found the chin of Noiri. If he didn't find the chin of Noiri and knock him down one time, he would have lost that fight. The same way he would have probably lost against Shadow if he didn't get a knockdown too. He somehow manages to find the fucking knockdown, and it pisses me off. But yeah, anyways, I think that Noiri should win this fight. I think that Noiri's fights, like, they've been kind of uneventful in ONE FC, like his first two fights in one, but he is better than those two men that he lost to, in my opinion. I think that in this fight he's going to prove that he's championship material, and especially with Japan rooting for him, I think that he's going to win.